Hey, how is everybody this evening? I am coming to you here at Glen Hayes' backyard, and we got a little home project. We are going to put a homemade switch on a table saw. My dad had purchased he was yard selling back about 4 or 5 weeks ago, maybe about 4 weeks ago. He come across this really good table saw, but the bad thing about it, there's a switch. It needs a switch in it. So I thought about putting just a regular toggle switch, light switch, and I thought, well, I don't know. I'll try something different maybe. So I went down and got to the supply house today and picked up a switch, and we're going to just put it on a 4 square cover. This is just a homemade job. So this is what we got, though. I'll show it to you. This right here is a Ryobi table saw, 10-inch portable table saw. It's got all the adjustments on it. Saw runs really good, but the only bad thing about it is when you plug it up, it's running. All right, so everybody knows you can be working on something pretty close to you, and you can get something fouled in it. A board can get fouled in it and be sitting there humming your motor, got your motor locked up, and you want to kill it real quick. Well, right here is where the switch was. Right there is where the switch was, and apparently, I'm assuming the switch broke, and nobody didn't want to deal with it no more. So it's going to be pretty something simple. Nothing really major here. I'll show you what we got. Just something for somebody to think about in case you got something you just want to work on it. This is what we got. I have got just a regular 4 square box, and I have picked up a switch from the supply house, and we're going to have a cover here, and we're going to drill a hole in this cover, mount the switch, and put it right there, and we're going to just run our wires out the back, and we're going to wire nut it up. And so it should work. That's what we're going to have. I've got a regular DeWalt battery drill there to do my drilling, to drill this plate out. I got some uni bits here and a couple of drill bits. This is stuff I usually have on my truck all the time when I'm at work. And I've got a nut driver here and a DeWalt little impact gun. And we're just going to put it together with some hopefully that plastic will hold on that self-tapper screw. So that's what we got. That's what we're going to do, and I just thought I would share it with you guys. It's just a little homemade project. This ain't probably anything that's UL approved or nothing. This is something that we use here on the homestead all the time probably. We'll be using it, so it ain't like it's going to be out there for somebody else to use. This is our own use, so you know how it is. Everybody wants to just kind of do it their own way, and I found a emergency stop switch at the supply house. You know what they wanted for you? An e-stop switch? $120. I'll repeat that. A mushroom style e-stop switch, $120. That's more than what we gave for the saw. But anyways, this little thing will work just as well. First thing we're going to do is test this switch before we go through all the trouble with this, okay? Even though you buy any kind of switch, I will recommend this to anybody doing house wiring, anybody that is doing anything at all electrical. Test your components before you install them. You have to say, what are you talking about? Well, we can test this switch with a meter, and I'm going to show you how to do that. So house wiring, like 4-way switches, 3-way switches, you can check them because, listen, this has happened to me a time. Let me see if I can fix my camera. There we go. There we are. Now listen, a little rundown here on these switches. They will cause you fits. Like I said, I used to work out of the IBW, Union Electricians, and I worked a lot in these plants, steel mills, powerhouses. We worked at places called Kellogg's Pop-Tart plant. They were done a lot of troubleshooting there. They had, a lot of robotic stuff. So that's where I really learned how to troubleshoot. But anyways, it's amazing how a faulty switch from the factory can cause you a headache, because you can be in house wiring and you can install it, and like a three-way switch, a three-way switch, you got, that way you got power running, then up here you got power running, right? One of these things on the receiving end can be broke internally in the switch, and you're sitting there and you're troubleshooting and you're like, I should have it there, and you don't. Well, that's why check your switches before you install them. It will save you a big headache, especially troubleshooting. All right, so we're going to do this, and this is what we're going to do. Let me see if I can get you down here where my hands are at. There we go. I might be able to work it. Now, right here, we got a meter, right? Okay, it's just a meter I use all the time. It's an ideal. It says it's a 61-763. I've got this meter because it's got the amp probe on it, okay? They sell them without the amp probe, but when I'm at work, a lot of times I gotta check how much a current is on a lead or something, or how much I'm drawing on a circuit, and that's why I've got this one on me, and so I just take it off truck and use it here at the house. But you got your, it measures AC voltage, DC voltage, your ohms, and right down here it's got a little thing that looks like a ring or something, or like a speaker symbol. Okay, we're gonna put it on that. And what that does is gives you to test continuity, which is called, in electrical, is continuity. When you touch that, see that? That means that you're connected, all right? So we're gonna look at this switch. Now, we're gonna go ahead and put this switch in the on position, correct? So back here on these prongs, all you have to do is get on here. See? That means it's on. Turn it in the off position, test it one more time on the leads, and I have nothing. I turn it back on to make sure, and it's there. So that switch, everything that I have looked at on that switch is good, and it's ready for installation. So what we're going to do next is we are going to work on this box. We're going to mount it, and I looked at this, and probably what I'm going to do is get me some wires, and I'm going to get me some wires up to my switch and let them hang out the back, and I'm going to get some wire nuts and make them wires up, and I will show you, and I may, if I got some paper or cardboard, I'll draw them out and show you how you hook your switch up. So just give me a second, and we're going to show you how to mount this and wire it up. All right, what we got now, we're going to get our box, and this box has got what is called KOs in it, what we usually call them. It's called knockouts. It's got 3/4 inch and 1/2 inch. It's a regular residential box, what it is. So what we're going to do, I have got in the back, I'm going to knock out this center one, okay? So what I got here is just a pair of Lyman pliers, electrical pliers. But, I mean, you can do it with channel locks or even a screwdriver, whatever you're going to do. What we're going to do, we're going to knock that out. See, right there, we knocked her out. And now, listen, don't get that with your fingers and want to rip it off, because what you end up doing, you'll have scars like I do over a period of time. So just use your pliers. It makes a lot more. Twist it, you're done. Even though that don't feel like it's very tight, it will cut the far out of your fingers. So now, we got this, and what we got, got 2 screws, and I hope this works on the plastic. I've got me a 5/16 tip out here, and we're gonna mount that box. All right, okay. So, here's the opening of the box, all right? I went ahead and marked and put my hose in. I got one right here and one up here. Hopefully this will hit right. Now, anytime you're going to do any kind of drilling in an enclosure, take your finger and feel up around. Make sure you have clearance. There's not a bracket in your way, or there could possibly be some wires in there. So I took my finger and felt around, and I'm gonna cheat my box over as far as I can right here. So to allow enough room for my wires to go in the back of the box into the enclosure, that's about what I got. So here we go. Got my gun, got my box. Now this plastic, you wanna be careful with it. Just tighten it up a little bit. Got one of them in. Now we got the second one going in. One little click. All right, just barely hit that. You know you're in there good. Now that's pretty tight. That will be great. I think that's going to be fine for no matter what we're going to do is flip a switch right here. So awesome. That went ahead, that went good, pretty good for us. So we got the box ready to go. Now we're going to drill for the cover plate. We mount the switch, and we'll go ahead and install the wiring and take 2 wires and run them back through there, and I'll show you the hookup here. I'll have to turn the saw over here in a minute. So we got the tough part of the project already done. People say, well, you mean that's tough? I mean, you never know what you run into when you're trying to put some screws into something. Whoop. Now what we got? We got this cover, okay? We got this cover, and we're gonna mount this switch. So the very first thing I wanna do, I wanna find the center of this cover. So I'll go ahead and do it off camera here, but I'll find the center of my cover. I'll put me a mark in it where I'm gonna drill, and I'm gonna put in the vise right here, and we're gonna drill through, and then we will probably use this multi-bit right here and run it up enough to where this switch, run it up enough where the size will hit this, because all this has got, it's got a lock ring right there. See that? Take the lock ring off, put that on, you run that lock ring up, switch is secure. All right, so here we go. Got the drill, I've got it marked, I got me a mark here where I want to put it, okay? So here I've got me a drill bit, I'm gonna put it in my drill. Now, the thing about it is, you got to bear with me here, okay? I don't know how good these tips are on these bits because I use them every day. I know I've got 2 bits in that box that I use whenever I gotta drill stuff out, small holes. I remember one of them's sharp, one of them's dull. So more than likely, the way I pick, this is gonna be dull, but bear with me. So I'm on my mark, and just start out easy. You don't have to drill fast. Actually, if you drill slow, it does a lot better job. If I was drilling something really hard, I would go ahead and put a little oil, but this covers not much. All right on the mark. It turned out pretty good. Bit worked out good. Now, this is the crucial part. As you can see, that bit steps up. Each line is where it's stepping up. Now, I have no idea what my hole's like on the, I don't know how big it is on the switch itself. So I'm gonna run it up just a little bit. I'm gonna run up a little bit. I don't think that's enough, but I might be able to tell. Okay, it's a little short. I'm thinking that I might just be one more notch to go up on this bit. So I'll get it all the way in there like that, and I can see it, see? Start spinning it, and you will feel, the way that bit runs, you can feel it give in a little bit, and it means you're up good. Gotta go one more maybe. One more. Do it again. There it went. Now let's see what she looks like. Perfect. I got a good snug fit, so it's going to tighten up good. There's my nameplate. I'm going to go ahead and slide that on. Maybe, all right, I see now. It's got a guide there to let you know how the cover is and how the switch is if it's off or on. So it's got a little tab on the off side of that plate. So I got it lined up right. I'm gonna put my lock ring on it. And that looks pretty good. Now, so we got the switch on it. I'll show you what it looks like here. There. We got the cover, and there's the switch. There's on, and there's off. And you can see the back. And all we'll do, I'll here in a minute, I'll connect these wires up, crimp them on, make a little lead, and we can go ahead and mount this to the box, and we're done on the outside. Now, next thing we're going to do, we are going to wire in our switch. Now, I went and had me a piece of wire, and this is just regular stranded THHN number 12, rated for 120 volts. Make sure whatever you're wiring up, whatever you're hooking up, it can be your house, you can be working on anything at all in your garage. Make sure it's right, it's rated right. If you're going to have a 20 amp breaker, then make sure your receptacles and your switches are rated 20 amp. If it's 15 amp, same deal. Make sure them are rated 15 amp. It's always don't never shortcut with electric. Always stick to the rating. And I know sometimes, you know, it's Uncle Roy, Uncle Bob. They got a switch they'll give you, but it's not rated just right. Or so-and-so had a deal and they bought a whole box of receptacles and they're only 15 amp, but you need 20. Listen, when it comes to electric, do it right and just stick to the ratings, because sometimes they'll come back and bite you. But anyways, here we go. We got this wire here, and I got these two connectors right here. And the way they are and how this is, the tabs, these are made just to slide right on like that when they're done, okay? So, take that back off. We're gonna put these on. These right here, I love these to crimp with. You have the regular ones out here, you know, and you crimp, but it's what you get used to. And I got so used to these. I was on a job one time, and I was at a powerhouse, and we was terminating a whole bunch of motors and equipment. And it come to a point where I had these, and I got used to them. And there's so much, they feel like you can leave your hand on them good. Let me get my glasses where I can see. Now, when you're going to crimp anything, you can see right here, you have a place where it smashes up in the groove, okay? You see that? How you got the notch? Now, if you look on this, right here, this connector, that metal, if it focuses in at the top, there's a split in it, okay? So, you put the split away from the notch. That way, that tab is smashing on solid, the tab is smashing on solid metal, and you'll get a better crimp like that. So I got that ready to go, but I didn't strip the wires, but I got my other strippers here. These are nice and sharp, newer strippers. Strip that off, put that on there. You want to run that copper up till you see it out here out front, and we're going to crimp. There we go. We got a nice clean crimp. So we got one of them, now we're with the other one. I'll put these in my pliers, have them ready. I got it ready. I've got it set. I got my metal, the tabs hitting the metal on it. I can lay them down a minute, strip this out, and stripped it out that quick. Slide this in. Make sure you get your insulation up inside your connector where you don't leave anything bare sticking out of it, all right? That way. There. Crimped. Done. That good. That quick. Now, so this is all this is. Look, we got one going on right here. It snapped in. And now we got the other one going in. And now that switch is ready to be wire nutted in. And that right there is done. When we put that in the box, there's nobody's hands can get into it. and it's going to be enclosed inside the box. All right, so we'll just go ahead, and I wonder, your screws on your box hit a certain 2 in each corner. So, but it should work out. Let's see, we'll go ahead and throw that in real quick while I got you on here. And then I'm gonna have to flip this saw over. All right, so I'm getting new at this camera stuff. It's kind of tough. I need to find me one, sorry about that. I need to find it where it swivels good. But all right, there's the box, okay? Now, we got our cover and our switch. Now, I kind of feel like Bob Vila, boys. Bob Vila, this old house, this old garage. Get me a good screwdriver out. Of course, the one you want, it's always in the bottom of the pouch. Now, if you can see, I'm gonna slide them wires in. Now, they're blue, okay? And I know you got a code that you stick to. You know, National Electrical Code. But the thing about it is, I like to keep stuff a little bit different. Now, this is, you know, black, red, and blue is 120 volts. And if you see wires out there, which unless you're in a commercial style building, you're not going to see 277. But 277 is brown, orange, and yellow usually. So here we go. We're going to slide them in just like that. And we got the cover. And I'm going to have to bend these back here just a little bit. So I'm going to bend them down. I'm going to have to bend them a little bit to get them to go in. So I bent my tabs down just a little bit. They're a little bit longer than the box. All right, so I bent them. I'm gonna slide them back in. And it looks like nothing's gonna hit. And that in there, the bottom one is a little bit loose, so tight. We'll put that in there. Well, maybe we won't. What am I hitting here? Still hitting on something. So I'll bend it a little bit more. There it went. There we go, we got it now, hopefully. These boxes, I'm telling you, we've had trouble at work with these too here lately. Stuff is being made so cheap anymore. It is hard to get stuff on. It don't slide together like it used to. Now just, see what I mean? We had a box the other day at work, it gave us fits. Either that when they was building them, they was their machine that made them bad. It was off or something that day. So we got to tighten that one up. Tighten that one up. And that's it. That wire will be in there now. So there's the switch. On, off. A little homemade switch. Now, that's pretty tight. So the next thing is we got to hook it up, and that's what we're going to get ready to do. So I'm going to have to turn this saw over, get it on its back to where you can see the wiring and what they did. And I'm going to try to draw it out on a schematic to show you exactly what you got to do. Just give me 1 second. All right. I just went ahead and wired it up because it was in a tight location and everything, and you guys wouldn't be able to see what it was. So I'm going to show you on a piece of cardboard here. I drawed it out, then I'll show you that it worked. So right here, what we got, this right here, let me make sure I've got it for you. Okay. There we go. This is the power, black, white, and green, okay? This is on the motor, on the saw. You got green, white, and black on the saw. Up here's the switch. Them two right there was the blue wires, correct? So listen, I went ahead and I hooked my greens up, like that. I hooked my greens up. Now, my green had an equipment ground right here. Went to the frame. It went to the frame of the saw. So that way that saw's grounded, okay? So then the white will just connect to the white, just like so. the wire that's from the motor and the power coming in, the white, it connected. It did not go to the switch. It did not go to the switch at all. You had your white connect to the white with a wire nut. White went back to the motor. Now, the only thing that's left, you got two blacks. You got a black coming in. This is the power. This is your what? 100 and things moving. Sorry about that. That looks awful. 120 volts coming in was the black. This is what your power is. All right, like on what comes up going the power cord. Here's the other black. Now over here's that switch right here. This black off the motor goes to that switch on the blue wire. The other blue wire, it runs back to the power, just like that. That's how that circuit was, and that's how we made it up. Now listen, this is just a lot of places, I don't know, this might be illegal to how I done it, but a lot of places, you know, especially if you're out on a job, this is just a quick fixer in case you got a switch bad and you want to fix it. Sometimes you got these parts laying around your house and it help you repair it, okay? So look, there we go. We got the box, a secure box. We have a box right here and it's secured, keeps our hand out of the 120 volts. No wiring showed, good and secure. There's our switch. And there it is, a little quick fix. Now, more than likely, that right there won't never be fixed. It'll be changed the same for us. Because like I said, we're the ones using it. We're the one that may take a little extra risk on that, and we know there's a chance of a risk. Is it maybe a secure safety switch? Maybe not. But the thing about it is, it's safer than when we got it, because when we got it, it was wired directly. You would have had to unplug it to get away from it. Now, at least, the guy that's operating it, he can be right here. If you turn the switch on, he gets in trouble. That guy's down. You run the board through. It gets down. You take the power off that switch. So, just a little thing of the day, a little project done. Hopefully, my dad will be proud. My dad will be happy about it. Or he might not like the switch. I don't know. We might be changing ourselves because his taste and my taste are totally different. Hey, listen, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it can help you. But anybody got any kind of questions, you know, just give us a shout out. Listen, we're Backyard Glen Hayes. See ya.